Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to the show. Had a little special broadcast, but we have a special guest today here on the Radical Republicans Jazz Lounge live show. You guys know how we do it. It's no holds barred, and everything. And so first of all, welcome again, and I hope everyone had a great day and having a great Hump Day. This is Hump Day. So today we're going to have a congressman candidate on from Arizona's District 4, Jerome Davidson, who actually made a big splash here just last week with a video. And we're going to show you that video here in a little bit before I bring Jerome on. And it's pretty funny because I'll tell him the story when I bring him on. But first, I'm going to bring on my co-host, one of the co-hosts of the Radical Republican Show, my man, Madison Downs. What's up, Madison?
How's everybody doing today?
How you doing, bro? You doing okay, man?
Well, I'm hanging in there, brother. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, you know how it is, man. When you produce and everything, you talk, you produce. So I'm going back and forth, hoping everything is going good live on all the outlets and everything. But everything is good. Everything is good, man. So
Good.
hope you've been having a good week.
Been a long week, man. Seems like the week's going a little slow this week,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Well,
still good though.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I
Hmm.
know how that is, man. That's good to hear, as always. I see you wearing your Chief stuff. I'm sure our guest is gonna like to see that. Would not like to see that because he played some NFL time.
Oh,
A
did
little NFL time. Play with the Raiders, I believe it was.
it? Yeah,
Whatnot.
no,
So
yeah, right.
yeah. So absolutely. So what I'm gonna do? We got a few people in the house, so you know how it is. The live stream is a little slow, but what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna read intro for our guest. Then I'm gonna play that video for everyone.
Okay.
Okay. His name is Jerome Davidson. He is a Republican, and of course that's why I'm having him on. But of course we have liberals on too if they dare come into the Lions Den. Not too many liberals come into the Lions Den and make it out successful.
Mhm.
So they just choose not to come in. But he's a Republican congressional candidate for Arizona District 4 that I mentioned. His name is Jerome Davidson, former NFL running back. He's a pastor. He's an author. He wrote a book, and he's a father, which we all love, because fathers are definitely important. He stands firm on upholding America's freedoms, such as the First Amendment, by introducing the Internet Bill of Rights. I saw his video on that. That video on the Internet Bill of Rights was very good. If people follow me, they know I have an active lawsuit against Facebook right now as well. Probably why they keep me suspended most of the time. And he demonstrated that his support for the Second Amendment in his newest campaign ad that I alluded to a little bit. You know how we do here. We let the person that's coming on tell everyone about themselves. But first, I'm going to play this ad, man. This ad was serious. I believe it has over 5 million views now. And I'm sure it upset a few Democrats and some liberals. And hello, everyone. Welcome, and keep coming in and share this video, share this live stream out to YouTube. Live stream out on your Facebook page and share it out so people can come in and hear the candidate today. So, first of all, I'm gonna share this a little bit. I'm gonna share my screen, and then we're gonna get busy on this link real quick. All right. So hopefully everyone can see this. And we're gonna pop it in. All right, here we go. Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense, that no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds. All right, yeah, see that. All right, so hey man, that's a serious video, serious video. So we're gonna bring in the man who made that video and who's behind that video. We'll bring in Mr. Jerome Davidson. How you doing, brother?
Hey, it's good to be here, Jerome, Jerome
Yeah.
Bell, and Madison.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey man, it's so funny to tell you a story. I got an email the other day. They said, "Hey man, that was a tough video, man. I hope you win. This and that. I said, well, it wasn't my video. I'm Jerome, and his name is Jerome.
Oh,
And
they
so,
thought it was
yeah,
you.
yeah. So they thought it was me, man. It was a little funny, but hey man, that's a tough video. So I tell you what, why don't you tell everybody who you are first, and then we get into the video.
Yeah.
And what brought that up. So go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. My name is Jerome Davison. I'm running for U.S. Congress in CD4, Tempe, Mesa, Ahwatukee, and Chandler. I'm a Christian child of God, gave my life to God at 17 years old. And I'm running because I'm tired of seeing the left destroy our country and give it away. I'm actually spiritually afraid for the country. I see that we are in a spiritual battle. I see that we are in a global battle, and I see that we're in a national battle. And I believe that our enemies are more domestic than they are foreign. I believe that the people in the White House are criminals. They are pedophiles. They are liars. They are racist, and we have got to remove them. And by the grace of God, we are going to get it done. I need you, America, to wake up, stand up, and get up, and let's go out here and take our country back. Stop thinking that sitting down and loving people and letting them run over you and turn your boy into a girl and a girl into a boy is being the love of God in the Christian way. It's not. Jesus would turn over tables in this day. Jesus would tell people and rebuke them and tell them that they're sheep and wolves and dogs and snakes and vipers, and the church has got to wake up. And I'm sad at you pastors who refuse to get involved in a spiritual battle. The witches came out and wanted to cast spells on the country, and you were silent. They came after God, and you were silent. They said amen and a woman at the end of a prayer, and you were silent. You are not doing your job. God wants you to be the light of the world and the salt of the earth. But I am running on a unique platform called the Internet Bill of Rights. The Internet Bill of Rights is going to stop the censorship of big tech, because big tech is nothing but an extension and an arm of the Democrat Party. I want you to help me get in there, because I want to take care and protect you, the people. And I want to get us back to the basic things that make America great: faith, family, and freedom. I grew up in Mississippi. My father was a truck driver. My mother was a homemaker. I played football my whole life and got a football scholarship to Arizona State. And from Arizona State, I went into the pros. And while I was in the pros, I became a team chaplain and a player with the Oakland Raiders. So a lot of these men gave their life to God, became great men, and they are secure in the heavenly. So that's what I did. But now I'm running because I saw the attacks on President Donald Trump. I saw what big tech did. They kicked him off of the platform while he was yet a president. These things are disgraceful for the leading country in the world. And these Marxist people who are running big techs are going to run and scatter like roaches when I get in there. Sparks are going to fly because they owe us a debt. The first thing they owe us is to give us our First Amendment right on these platforms. These platforms are the modern day public square, and they should not be allowed to kick us off because of Title 230. We're going to kick that off. We're going to label them public utilities and get our rights back. My name is Jerome Davison. I'm telling you, I'm asking you to get involved with my campaign. It's completely grassroots. I haven't accepted any PAC money or any money from Washington, because I heard that they were telling me that when they come to, once I win the primary, they're going to come to Arizona. They're going to bring Washington here and teach me the ropes and teach me how to get into Washington. They're going to fire my campaign team. Well, let me tell you something. I didn't take your money. I didn't call you, and I didn't invite you. You try to come here, you're going to get a footprint up your butt. I have my own ideas on what I'm going to do in Washington, and I'm going to get that done in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Amen, brother. I like that. Madison ran for the 3rd district in 2020. Of course, I ran for the 2nd district here. Madison started to run in 2022, but he had to drop out. But we being, Black brothers and Black conservatives, right? Do you find, I know what me and Madison get here in Virginia and what we got, do you find that you have a hard time running as a African American, a Black conservative in Arizona in your district?
Well, I know for one thing, they have not supported me. They haven't thrown support around, but I've forced them to. I've forced not the leaders of the GOP here in Arizona, but I'm gonna tell you something. The people. When they hear me get in there and speak, and I'm an outstanding person, I'm an outspoken person. I always go in. I have to dress the part. I have to look the part, and I have to address myself and address the people in the park. I told them that I said, I want to get you white people and make you mad. It's hard to get white people mad. Don't y'all come in and tell me I'm fired up. No, I want you to get mad. I want you to get angry. I want you to get with me because I'm angry. We need to go to Washington and fight. These people, I said, my opponents are running on an antiquated system. They act like they're running in the time of Ronald Reagan. But what about the past 2 years has been normal to you? They shut the country down. They forced you to get inoculated. They're trying to take your children's rights away, and you're still going to sit here and act like everything's okay? What's the big elephant in the room? The elephant in the room is that they're trying to take over this country and take away your rights. And I want y'all to get with me because I'm going to fight to get things back again. My opponents are too quiet and too afraid to know and say anything about what's going on. And what's going to happen, they're going to get to Washington and disappear in the midst of the swamp and blend in with the swamp creatures. Well, I'm not going to blend in. I'm going to speak out.
So you're not part of the go along, get along gang, as we would say.
No, I can't do that because we have a mission. And here's the thing. I want my children and my grandchildren to grow up in the country that I grew up in. We had sports and we stood up and we put our hand on our chest and we saluted our flag and we sang and we prayed and we enjoyed our holidays and we called Mother's Day, and we didn't worry about offending no transgender stuff like that. You're not going to take our rights away and you're not going to take away our freedom of speech, and our children, people like you, brothers like you and Madsen, who are running. God touched your hearts and asked you to get involved in this race, and he got y'all to learn something, and the next time y'all get in the race, it's going to be much easier, but y'all got some experience. And you see that the devil's tentacles are long and strong even in the GOP party.
Definitely within the GOP. We both found that out, and the rhinos are strong. You know, the rhinos are strong. It was the establishment Republicans that was against me. Again, they spent millions of dollars against me. The Democrat Party spent hundreds of thousands of dollars against me in this race. Mm-hmm. Do you find that that's happening to you as well? And I'm going to bring in my other co-host here in a second. But do you find that that's happening to you as well? Because I know you said that you're not really getting the support from the establishment, the GOP establishment. But are you getting, especially after that video, are the Democrats coming after you hard, and specifically Black Democrats?
Yeah, them brothers, man. Ignorant, dumb suckers. You know how they are.
Yeah.
You know how they are. Talking about they switched up. I said, listen, these are government bodies. It takes legislation to switch parties, man. And you stop talking to me about that stuff until you bring me some legislation and some government documentation. Other than that, it is what it is. It's going to rest right here. And stop all that stuff. These people are they set up Planned Parenthood to destroy us. They continue to let guns rest. I mean, guns, the Uzis. Y'all know it. They don't take that away because they want death for nigglywiggs. Let me just say it like that. They want death for these nigglywiggs. They want death for our babies. They want death for our kids, and they want death for us. And they've never changed that. As recent as 2009, they had a grand wizard as a senator, and his name was Robert Byrd. No Republicans attended that. There was no Republicans at his funeral. Guess who was there? Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and the Democrats. And he was a Democrat. And so if we switch parties with him, why weren't the Republicans there? And so dealing with people, our folks, these nigglywiggs, they want to stay ignorant. They won't pick up a book, and they twerking their butts and arses everywhere. And that's what's important to them. But writing policy and creating policy that's going to keep us safe and prosperous, they don't care about that. And then I get some of these church folks to tell me, you can't be in politics. You can't be in that, sweetheart. Now, listen, Daniel was more of a governor than he was a prophet. Nehemiah was a man of God who served in politics. Jesus Christ, the Messiah, is going to serve and reign on the earth as a governor for the people for 1,000 years, the Messiah. And the Antichrist is a political body. And when the church refused to get involved in politics, it's a bad thing. The only time they want to get involved in politics is when they have somebody like Pete Buttigieg come on, who's married to another man, and then they promote him and bring them in their holy convocations.
Absolutely. I'm going to bring in Levita and introduce you to Levita Jones, another one of our co-hosts. Hey, Vita.
Hey, everybody.
What's up,
And
Vita?
I'll let my other co-host ask you a couple of questions, and then we'll get to some of the comments in the audience. I see we got a person named Tommy Ramey in here. That's he's stepping into the lion's den, and he don't know what he's coming into. But we're gonna get to you in a minute, Tommy. Hold on. Go ahead, Madison. You got anything or Vita?
Yeah, I was. We got an echo. I don't know where the echo's coming from, but
It is an echo.
yeah.
I don't hear it. Everybody just mute unless you're talking.
Let's see here. All right, it's gone now. I was interested in your commercial, right? At first, I looked at it and I liked it, from just straight from the jump street. Then I started thinking, okay, what does that have to do with nowadays? Because we don't necessarily see, the Klan walking around in their sheets or whatever. Then I listened to your story a little bit and understand that you're from Mississippi. A lot of people don't realize that slavery existed in Mississippi, I think, until the 60s and 70s, right?
They
1960s.
just took it off the books.
Yeah. I'm curious, though, insofar as that is concerned, it sounds like it looked like there was a lot of symbolism in your commercial. What exactly are you getting at insofar as what's the point that you're trying to get across, other than obviously we need to maintain our two-way?
Oh yeah, well, if I had a lot of symbolism in that ad. Number one, I don't have any vices. I don't drink or smoke or anything like that. And people who know me know I love a cup of coffee. And that's my thing. Love coffee. And so I was sitting in my home, enjoying a cup of coffee with the American flag on it. That's number one. Is that I was enjoying my America, enjoying my freedoms here, proud of the country that I'm in. And while I'm in my home, enjoying my family, enjoying the prosperity God blessed me with, I keep getting attacked. I'm getting attacked in my own yard, in my own property by these Democrats. And I wanted to show people that black people have a right to bear arms. It is these Democrats that don't want you to bear arms. Now, was it not as recent as 2 or 3 weeks ago that Joe Biden got up on the mic and said the greatest threat to America is white supremacy? What does that do to a black man like me, who had the history of me growing up in Mississippi? What does that do? It triggers me. It makes me feel like I got to defend myself. It's a conundrum for them to say, hey, the greatest threat is white supremacy, and then say, oh, it's wrong for him to have a gun, talking about you got to have 30 rounds. It's stupid. So now you just told me that I'm threatened because white supremacy come after people my color. Okay, you just told me that. So I gotta get myself an AK, an AR, or whatever I need to protect my family. So they should be celebrating that. The conundrum is that they're telling us one thing and then they're angry with the very thing they told us. So it's a problem for them. And so we situated this ad just enough in such a right way that they really can't fully attack it because it's going to expose their true intentions. Let me see. The KKK was developed because black people got the right to vote, and then they started bearing arms. And this right to vote was citizenship, and as citizenship, you can get a right to bear arms. And around the time the KKK was developed, black people started arming themselves, and the KKK was developed to stop them from doing that. The Democrats do not want black people to arm themselves because they don't want you to feel like you're citizens of this country. Whenever a black man use a gun in self-defense, the judicial system comes down heavy on a brother. But for a white person in certain states, it's much lighter on them. But when a black person uses it, they got to go through court for a long time. And by the time they get to running out of money, it's prison time for a brother, because most of these people sitting on these seats are less leftist, and they are Marxists, and they hate black folks.
Well, we're definitely going to see how things turn out up in New York with the recent court overturning with 2A up there. And
yeah, what they did was they couldn't overstep the authority of the Supreme Court, and
Correct.
so, but they have authority in their state, and so what they did, they basically banned gun carrying in every place, in places to eat, in grocery stores, in movie theaters. So, I mean, the only place you can have a gun is in your home. They banned everything public.
Well, what's happened up there is there are a lot of African Americans or Black Americans who have, as a result of the ruling, have started to go out and purchase more weapons. And so now that conundrum that you're talking about, we're going to see how the judicial system handles that, how the police officers handle that. You know, a lot of the KKK we see wearing uniforms now.
There we go.
So we're going to see how that plays out
Yeah.
in regard to what you're saying.
So with the video, I could not use Antifa. I couldn't use anything modern, although it would have been great. But the Democrats, they would, the FBI or the CIA would have probably set up a situation where somebody went out and harmed Antifa or something right after they saw my video. And so they'll say, oh, this is because of Jerome Davison's ad stirred up the people. So I had to use like these cartoonish type of people from back in the day. People say, well, I watch some of the people talking about this. They're like, he's a buffoon. People don't wear the sheets anymore. I'm not a buffoon. The ad is very intelligent. It's got people talking around this country. We're talking about 2A, and we're talking about real racism coming from the real racists, and that's the Democrats. Do I believe in systemic racism? I absolutely do. And it's coming from the Democrats, and it always have come from the Democrats. And I want to wake up my brothers and sisters to that fact and stop serving the people who are really destroying you.
Just one more thing, just to kind of piggyback. This was my second big question to you. When you get to Congress, right? You know, we get a lot of people, and we know a lot of people who have run, obviously. And, you know, one of the questions that people ask is what policies do they plan on instituting? You know, I always felt that perhaps the best thing to do is to take away from the law, not create more laws, so not create more policies. You know, and that's the way people get their freedoms back. But what are your ideas? What policies, or how do you plan on getting along in Congress in order to woo your colleagues, in order to get bills passed?
I plan to vote morally. I plan to vote, first of all, constitutionally, morally, and the will of the people. The people that I represent in CD4 in Arizona, I want to vote for them because I've been on the other end being a citizen and sending people to represent me, and I get zero representation. The frustration for me was just maddening. I really wanted representation, and so I have a vision. I cast a vision for CD4. I told them that every 3 months I'm coming back, and we're going to have like a town hall. We're going to have like a big meeting. We're going to have gospel music. We're going to have prayer. We're going to know who our judges are. We're going to know who our policemen are. We're going to know who our mailmen are. We got to know who our judges are. We've got to set this thing up, and we've got to arm ourselves with knowledge and information. So I plan on voting for policies that are going to secure America. Definitely got to secure the border. I'm definitely going to bring my Internet Bill of Rights because we need free speech, and especially for Christians and those of us who love to preach the gospel and bring Jesus to this game. And because I feel like he's the answer and the light of the world. So I don't want the Christian churches to be censored to the point that they can't even preach about stuff because of the LGBT. You're harming them and you're hurting their feelings. We have to stop that because that's nothing but another way of the Democrat Party to raise up these minority groups to circumvent people's rights. Okay, so they circumvent our First Amendment by saying, "Oh, you're doing hate speech." I said I don't care what you consider hate speech. It's still my First Amendment. Okay, and so that now they're even paying people to say that they are LGBT when they're not LGBT, and so they know they're losing the Black community. They know they're losing the Latino community. And what I'm going to suggest and what I'm going to bring in as a bill is that there should be no special groups in this country. We're all special under the Constitution. We're all equal under the Constitution. There should be no special groups because what you'll notice is that all the special groups that are set up are all left-leaning, all of them. And the Democrats love to pat them on the back just to get votes and just to get political power. So we're going to stop that. We definitely want to vote to lessen. I like what you said, that we definitely got to shrink the government. We're wasting a lot of money. The government is wasting all of our money. And I want to set up bills to where they cannot send money overseas to places like Ukraine anymore. And everything's got to be America first.
All right. Thank you for that.
Vita, you have anything before I jump back in?
Yes, I do. How you doing? Yeah, echoing a little bit. How you doing? Um,
Wonderful.
that's good. So my question would just be, what do you have any opponents, anybody else running against you?
I have some Republican opponents, but listen, I have put in a lot of work for the last 2 years. Before I was even considering running for Congress, I was at the election integrity rallies. I was at the Trump rallies. I was in the community as a pastor, serving the people, being there for the birth of their children, being there for their marriage counseling, counseling children, counseling their families, being at the blessing of their homes, of blessing their businesses. I mean, you name it. Being there to ashes and dust to dust. I mean, funerals, everything. And being here for the people and being at the ball games. Even some young girls in the congregation loved pastor so much they couldn't go to school. The pastor had to be there for them for their first day of school for them to feel comfortable. So I love the people. I want to represent the people. And my name is pretty much out there and was way out there before we dropped that ad. And that ad was just like the icing on the cake. And I believe that this has closed the door on my Republican opponents. And we're looking forward to the general.
Okay. So my next question is, can you tell me specifically though, like what why do you think you will win over them? Other than what you just said, like even more, because I know you connect with people, things like that. But because this is being in a congressional seat is a big deal, and you
Hmm.
definitely have to know policies, procedures, how things work. So how do you differ from them if you were to get in that seat?
Every congressional seat represents a number of people in the state. I think it's 300,000. For a Senate, for a person to be the Senate, we can have like two senators from the state. So we have two senators going from Arizona to Washington, and we have, I think, five congressmen going. So I would represent a block of about maybe 600,000 people. All right. I know the Constitution, and I've familiarized myself with that as much as I can, and I will. I will vote constitutionally. People just want people who care, and I do care, and I will vote to make sure that they're safe. Drugs should not be coming into this country. America has become the leader in criminality. We're leading in sexual transportation of people, human trafficking. We're leading in illegal guns crossing the border and selling them across the country and around the world. And so people want to make sure that the gas prices are good, the price of a pack of chicken is right, and so I will secure that. And what makes me different is that I am them. I am from them, and I am for them. But my Democrat opponent, he voted 100% with these Green New Deal policies that have raised the price of rent. We have illegals coming in here, and the government is subsidizing their rent. And the more the government subsidize these apartments for these illegals, rent goes up even more. And people are being kicked out of their homes because they can't pay the price of rent. So it goes from $1,600 a month to $2,000 or $2,100 a month. It's crazy. And so when I talk about that with them, they say, hey, I want you to go represent me. I want you because you understand everyday kitchen table issues. But can I talk about the Constitution? Do I know the Constitution? Yes. And we will do that. We will fight for the constitutional rights in America and on Capitol Hill. But they need me there because I'm them.
All right, very good, very good. Here's a question I have too, because I know you consider yourself America first, right? Are you backed by, or have you gotten any endorsements from like Paul Gosar, Dr. Kelly Ward, Kerry Lake, or any of those, out there?
Kelly
Out there,
Ward
if you can hear me.
endorsed. I can hear you. It's kind of low, but I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So any of those people out there, I'll try to talk up a little louder. Like Paul Gosar, because I had the endorsements of Paul Gosar, Kelly Ward, Mark Fincham. All of the big leaders out there. Wendy Rogers, the big leaders out there in Arizona. Are they backing you and supporting you? Because most of those that I just named are America First candidates.
Yeah, I think they can do that for out-of-staters, but they can't do it for in-staters. Paul Gosar, he was supposed to meet with me a couple of times, and I think he got cold. He got a cold foot. People say he got cold feet, but I think he got a cold foot. But that's okay. Really, I'm not trying to run a traditional campaign. I'm not trying to run no traditional stuff. I'm running an unorthodox campaign that's different. It's like when you fight somebody that's unorthodox, you're not used to their style, their approach, and you're just used to somebody standing right in front of you. Yeah, but I'm not that type of fighter. I'm not looking for endorsements. I have not run behind anybody for any endorsements. I wanted to show them that I am a rare breed of politician and candidate. I have a combination of the knowledge of the Spirit. I know what's going on spiritually. I know what's happening globally. I know what's happening nationally. I know what's happening locally. I'm very much involved. They should see that uniqueness and approach me instead of me approaching them. So and when I first started, I started asking for certain endorsements, but then I realized that everybody's closing the door on me. They're going to wait till after the primary. I said, after the primary, I don't need you. And when I dropped this bomb on the whole world, which was that ad, y'all going to come running to me and knocking down my door. At that time, I don't want to have nothing to do with you, okay? I want you to see the uniqueness of Jerome Davison and see that I'm bringing something that's real that you need as the GOP. And they should be happy to have somebody like me that's going to help remove the stench and the lies of all this racism from the GOP, but they did not embrace me like that. And I don't really need their endorsement. They asked me, am I seeking President Donald Trump's? I love President Donald Trump. I was out there marching hard for President Donald Trump. I was at January 6th because I love the man and I appreciate, and I saw God's hand on him. But I'm not, you don't see and hear a lot of me in my campaigns, ads, or any kind of stuff talking about President Donald Trump, and I'm not running on his name. I'm running on Jerome Davison. And so that's when they send me to Congress, it's going to be Jerome Davison. And I'm not trying to be a prideful person, but in this political stuff, I've learned that I have to just kind of tout myself a little bit and pat myself on the back just a little. But the endorsements, that stuff is kind of old. And my opponents, they've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I have made a dollar holler. I'm the least raising money person in my race. Some of them have raised 800,000. Some of them raised 500,000. They're getting all this PAC money, but I noticed they didn't have a message. They didn't have any passion. And when I got on the mic with the people, man, the people enjoyed the passion. They enjoyed it, and they got applause. And so when I went to my table after speaking, I had the whole room at my table, but nobody was at their table. And so you can judge from that stuff. I said, these guys, man, they don't have a message. They don't have nothing for you. They don't have a passion. They're not angry. I was like, we shouldn't be angry. I said, God gets angry. Jesus got angry enough to overturn tables. And so when these people want to turn your boys into a girl, that don't make you mad? When they're trying to kill these babies out here and destroy the unborn, that don't make you angry? Well, who are you? So, I thank God for the endorsements that I've gotten. All these people, America PAC. I got Veterans for America First, but I didn't seek it. The only endorsement I've been working hard to get, brother, is the endorsement of the people. I've been knocking on doors. See, I used to be the color of this shirt, and then I started knocking on doors, and I became browner. You know what I'm saying? But I've really been. I knocked on close to 1,000 doors, man, and I make a lot of personal calls, and people are like, this is Jerome. And they're excited because they know me. And many times I call the people and they say, oh, this is Jerome. I know you, man. You remember I saw you here and we was at that rally. And so I'm confident I will win the primary and I will win the general, because people when they go to that gas pump and it's $5 and $6 and the price of food is going up and crime here in Arizona is going crazy. They want a change and they want a representative who was here. This dude has disappeared. He voted one time proxy from a boat. He was on a vacation chilling. And what I'm going to do is, I'm a black dude. Now, they say that they should have, give minorities a chance or equal opportunity and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to ask him when he get on debate stage, are you just going to surrender this position to me because I'm black and you're white? First of all, I want to understand, why are you a white man and you're a Democrat knowing the history of their party? Okay, what are you trying to tell us?
So when is your primary?
August 2nd. Hold on one second.
Okay.
August 2nd. It's coming up in about 3 weeks, and we're looking very well. The momentum and the excitement is on Team Jerome.
Good. My other question is, insofar as I know you kind of alluded to it a little bit early on in regard to the party leaders, but the establishment, How are they toward you? Are they favoring you? Are they aloof? Are they?
Yeah, they're aloof. They're trying to stay distant, but I believe they made a backdoor deal with one of my opponents, and
Mhm,
all of them are going to be made ashamed. You see, it's the little flea in the room. It's just little old Jerome. He didn't have the money, but I had the message, and I
mhm,
had the power, and I had God with me, and I had the people with me, and I knocked on their doors, and I kissed their cats and hugged their dogs and held their babies and talked to them like a pastor does and like a candidate does, and I showed them the bond between us. I'm black and you're white, so what? This is a human bond, and that's what we need. You need somebody that's going to go to Washington and fight for humanity. What we're seeing from the left and from the globalists is a united front against humanity. They want to decrease the population of humanity. They want to make us bow down and eat food like animals and dogs. But when
mhm,
God is with us, who can be against us? And so I'm just fighting, man. And so when I hit them with this ad, all of them just went crazy.
mhm,
And look, I had it in my back pocket. I knew I was going to hit them. We just had to wait for the right timing. You see,
mhm.
you never show the enemy all you got. So I was letting them do it. But listen, even without that, I believe without the ad, even with no money, I hadn't raised any money, I'll make a dollar holler. I made $1. If you compare the money that I've raised and what I've done with the little money I raised compared to what they had, hundreds of thousands. I had the same street signs, I had the same material when it came to knocking on doors and door hangers and all that. I had all of that. But here's another thing. Because of my message, I had volunteers, man, that would go to bat for Jerome. I mean, they was going out there, and it gets hot out here in Arizona, and they was out there in that heat doing it, getting signatures, registering voters. I mean, we had on the T-shirts, had on the hat, out there holding up signs in the heat, showing people that Team Jerome is passionate about America first. And so one of my opponents paid $30,000 to get signatures to get on the ballot. I paid 1,500. Some of them paid 15,000. I didn't have to. So when you want to talk about somebody who's fiscally responsible, Jerome Davison, with the little budget I had, look at where I'm at now. Around the world, I have an ad. It's a very, very expensive looking ad, right? But
Yeah, yeah, looks good.
it's known as the greatest ad in history and is greatest in the world. Now mess with me. Now mess with me. So when God get on something, when God gets on something and when God gets in something, he'll make something little huge. And so another unique thing about me is the Internet Bill of Rights, and the people are very excited about it. People are excited because, you guys are YouTubers, you're expressors, you're content makers, and everybody is making money on the content. And you have commercials and all kinds of stuff. And I was on YouTube myself. I had like 90,000 subscribers, and they kicked me off. And I said, "Hey, man, this is not right." And then they kicked President Donald Trump, even while he was the president. I said, "These people are evil, and we got to get something." So I got with some people, and we just came up with this Internet Bill of Rights. And the Internet Bill of Rights has a 3-pronged fork to it. It's an Internet Bill of Rights, but it's going to have three important factors in them. And I want everybody to hear this and pay attention to this. We're going to stop the censorship. Your freedom of speech should go from the public square onto these platforms, because these platforms are the new public square. People are advertising on here. You're meeting your family members. You're talking about church events. Everybody's on here. And they kick you off because you disagree with their leftist views. And so we're going to stop that. Number
How are you
two,
gonna stop it?
because what I'm going to do is I'm going to label them public utilities. I'm going to take away the Section 230. I'm going to take away. I want to vote to take it away altogether, and label them public utilities, so that when you pay your bill to be on the platform, they can't attack you for no reason at all. They can't attack you because you're a Republican or your views. As long as you pay the bill, you're on the platform. Okay, that's freedom of
Right.
speech.
Okay.
The second part of the bill is that the data collection, folks. Let me tell y'all something. Data is the greatest commodity in the world. It's people. These platforms are making trillions of dollars right now. And your mama who's living, your mama and grandmama and everybody that's living on a set income and stuff like that, while they're doing the searching on their phone, they could be making money for themselves. But these platforms are spying on us and stealing the data, stealing the information, and using it to feed into the algorithm system to make the algorithm smarter. And that algorithm is going to be working against us eventually in the future. But The data is the biggest commodity in the world, and you should receive the money from you searching in your phone. Have you ever been on your phone and you've been on a conversation with somebody? You wasn't even on the phone. You was just talking to somebody, and then you talked about going to get some ice cream. Well, then you go to your phone and look in your phone, and you got advertising for ice cream in your phone because the phone has been spying on you. They've been listening to your data, and they sold that data to marketers, and marketers hit you up right away because they want to get that money. And so this data should be yours, and you should make money on it. Every time you Google search, make a conversation, or do a text, these algorithms are taking that information and they're taking it all and they're selling it. And so everybody should make money on that or either opt out. So they should stop. The third part of that is that I want to protect the sovereignty of the mind. Okay, your mind is yours, and we have these emerging technologies. See, this is why they need me in Congress, because I want to protect your freedoms into the future. These people are not looking at the future. They're just looking at the present now. And most of these people are running for these platforms and running for Congress only on ego. I'm running for freedom. And so when the government forced people to get inoculated and get the shots, they were telling all of America and the entire world that we own your body and your body is not your own. That's what they were saying. Your body is no longer sovereign. It belongs to the government, and we can put in it what we want. Well, during that time of COVID, the Democrats slid into the bill for cover. So they want to give us $600 while they send billions over to Ukraine for a war they can't win. I would have voted heck no on that thing, but I would have sent Zelensky down and told him, how you think you're going to beat the third world power in the world, and you got nothing but wood and guns? Sit down and shut up. Mm-hmm. And so here's the deal. So they want to put smart technology in these cars that says that it reads your emotions and reads your minds and see if you're well enough to drive, or if you're in a good enough mood to drive, and it reads your mind. Well, it has no right to invade the privacy of your mind, because if something can read your mind, it can probably plant something in there too. So I'm going to protect the sovereignty of our minds, because I'm going to tell you something. I believe a lot of this shooting and stuff that's going on, all the school shooting and stuff, is nothing but some technology. And they're giving these kids these antidepressant drugs as early as 8 years old, and it's making their brains mush by the time they get to be teenagers. And by the time they get to be teenagers, you can get the CIA and the FBI to meet with them in these little private rooms and, turn them on to do something. It's ironic, the timing of all of these school shootings is always right after the president starts talking about gun control. And so I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just pay attention to the news and I watch and see. We got to get rid of this these drugs that they're giving these kids. And so not only I'm gonna go after big tech, but I'm gonna go after big pharma too.
By saying that, you will be labeled a conspiracy theorist, right?
Well, I already that's fine. They can
we
label me
all
everything.
do. Well, you're on the right show. Let me tell you
Yeah.
that you're on the right show right now, because we all say the same thing you just said.
Yeah.
So, and we understand that we are not conspiracy theorists. We understand that we've been factually correct on everything that we say, because we just pay attention. We see what's going on in the world. We understand, what's been happening in certain communities for a long time, where people didn't want to realize that things were happening in our communities, right? But now it's widespread now to where it is happening worldwide and nationwide. And I'm really glad that you said what you said about Ukraine, because I would have voted against sending $40 billion and all that money to Ukraine anyway, because all of it is just money laundering, and I think this Ukraine thing is pretty much a hush fund, for the Biden crime family. We can just keep going on, but that's a totally different show, But you touched on a bunch of things that we've spoke about here in the Lion's Den, what we call the Lion's Den here on the Radical Republican Show, and what we've actually run on, Madison and myself. We've run on a lot of the same topics and the same things that you've, just espoused, which is very, very refreshing to know, that a representative, a congressional candidate out in Arizona is saying the same things that we're saying here in Virginia. So it's not a conspiracy, but it's truth, about the LGBTQ. Here, unfortunately, here in Virginia, we have laws that is called the Virginia Values Act, that my opponent that I just lost the I wouldn't even say lost to, but people voted her, more than me, that she actually voted for it. That actually gives the LGBTQ, that makes them a protected class. So now we have to live with that. We have to live with boys going into the girls' bathrooms. We have to live with transgenders being able to change their sex on their birth certificates. The change in the definition of marriage, using the pronouns, and all of this garbage that hopefully, the people of Arizona will never vote for, and that they're trying to pass now in Congress as well. Because what you're going to find is that the establishment is going to spend millions of dollars against you. Okay, and if they spent millions of dollars against me in this election, the Democrats, like I said, spent millions of dollars against me because they don't want a truth teller in Congress. They don't want a person that's really going to be America first and stand up for the people and not, bow down to the lobbyists, not bow down to these globalists. They don't want you. They didn't want me, and they don't want you. So, I'm definitely going to be fighting for you. I love everything you stand for. So you're definitely going to have my backing. I'm going to put everything I can into your campaign and help you out there, in Arizona, because like you said, you're going to have to stretch that dollar. You're gonna definitely have to
make a dollar holler.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make that dollar holler, because what's gonna happen is here in the next week or so, and they're probably already doing it to you since your primary is August 2nd, is that they're gonna dump a bunch of money into radio and TV and put their message out there and try to drown your message. So that's what they're gonna do, and unfortunately, without a lot of money, being able to buy radio and TV, to be able to touch hundreds of thousands of people at one time. Your video did great, because I see it has over 5 million views. Hopefully most of those are from people in your district, like you say, believe in Jerome and believe in what you stand for, because that's what you're going to have. You're going to have them votes, man. And I really love everything.
Well, I figure it's going to take me about 320,000 votes to get them. And that video, I would say the advertising was probably close to $50 to $60 million. And all I did was, it took us 5 to 10 minutes to make it. That was just a warning shot. And I want my opponent to know I'm a different breed.
There you go.
And I don't care. You're going to have to raise 200 million to try to beat me. I'm going to win it. I don't care what kind of message you come with. I'm going to bust him up bad. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give my opponent a chance to bow out of the race now or get embarrassed. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to tell you,
you got
there's
like five opponents, right? Is it five?
No, that's for the primaries. The primaries,
for the primary.
Close the door on the primary, man. Close the door. I'm still doing my stuff.
That already.
Yeah.
You're speaking that into existence. I love
Yeah,
it.
the Lord is with me on that. Let's just close the door on that. But if it's a little bit open, okay, I'm dealing with it. We're going to go out to do some mailing. I got a team driving down from Las Vegas, and they're gonna pound the ground with us just a little bit. And like the last week and a half, we'll be fine. I think it'll be enough to get us over. As a matter of fact, I think it may be like maybe I might get 50% of the vote, and the rest of them can scrounge for the scraps.
Okay, you don't have like a runoff election out there. It's winner take all, right?
Yep, winner take all.
Okay, cool. Hey, bringing in our last guy. He's a little late, though, bro. Don Burton. He's part of the Lions Den and the Radical Republican show. And so your district is the Vegas area. Is that what you said? Is that pretty much the Vegas
No, I was
area?
saying that we're gonna have. I'm in Arizona, but I'm in southern Arizona.
Okay, southern.
But we're gonna have folk coming down from Vegas. We got a team of friends coming from Vegas. They're gonna drive here on a big bus, and we're gonna pound the ground. We're gonna hit them with that ground game.
Okay, so that's southern Arizona area. That's like by the border of San Luis and that area.
No, not that southern. We're in Phoenix. We're like
the Phoenix
we're in the
area.
Phoenix area.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Oh, all right, that's what's up. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff.
Sound like Carl Weathers.
A lot of people say I look like Carl Weathers, and you know what? The funny thing is, Carl Weathers was number 48 for the Raiders, and so was I.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I knew he played for the Reds. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why that $2 Chief shirt you got on is $2.
Yeah, but hey, all they want to see is something.
All right.
You ain't the only one who played.
All right, hey, so I'm gonna go down these comments a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see the comments. You should be able to see the
While
comments.
he's reading that, Jerome, I'm the only member here of the Raider Nation.
Brother, you might, man, when I come back out there, we're going to go out. I'm going to get you a steak, man. We need to talk.
All right, so we're going down these comments. I'm not sure what Tommy means about real Republicans. You know, when are we going to get real Republicans back? I'm not sure what he means by that, because you're looking at three real Republicans that actually ran for office there, Tommy. You're looking at myself, Madison Downs. You're looking at Jerome Davidson, Levita Jones is a Republican, and Don Dobro. So you're looking at real Republicans. You know, what you're used to is probably fake Republicans, these rhinos, these people that want to call themselves Republicans and, run as conservatives but vote as moderates and vote as Democrats. So we're not really sure what you mean by real Republicans, because you have real Republicans right here on the show, and also real Republicans across this nation that has been running for office and will continue to run for office and take on the establishment, because that's what we have to do. Because the biggest part that I found is not really taking on the Democrats. The biggest part is taking on the establishment.
That's right. It's a two-party system now. We can see some things coming together, and we can see, Donald Trump was the great divider. And he didn't do the uniparty stuff with the Democrats and the Republicans. But I always encourage people, if you are a Christian, if you're a child of God, if you believe in God, you should vote on policies that are closer to your biblical views. Okay, do you believe that, does the Bible give you the right to kill a child because you feel like you can't take care of it? And the decision to have sex is a powerful thing. I think that should have been more of the conversation in this nation than anything. Because the decision that creates a child, we're not Neanderthals, we're not dogs and animals. We know that when two people come together and have unprotected sex, and even sometimes protected sex, the possibility of getting pregnant and having a child out of that is possible. So why aren't we talking about protection, and why aren't we talking about morality? But the Democrats like to spread immorality because it brings with it a curse. And they want our nation to be cursed. And so I'm the curse breaker. I'm coming in the name of Jesus, and we're going to break some of these curses and put them in reverse. And when God did something in this nation just recently and reversed Roe v. Wade, God gave us a sign that his grace is still with us and that his power is on this nation, that he will fight those who will stand up and fight.
Right, absolutely.
I'm just, I'd be curious, whoever that fool was who made that comment. What does a real Republican sound like? And to you, what does a real Republican look like? It sounds like you might have a problem with some aesthetics there, buddy. And you're on the wrong track.
And I think he bounced out. I think
Yeah, he
he
bounced
bounced
out.
out. Hey, so we do have a question for you, man. How do you plan on flipping Democrats, or have you flipped any Democrats, or what's going on out there as far as that angle goes?
Wait, hold on,
Yeah.
Jerome. Mute your mic, Jerome, because it's echoing.
Oh yeah, we're gonna flip this state. The state is basically red. We just had a lot of people coming in from California, But when I talk to people around here, knock on their doors and meet people in the grocery store, people are ready to deal with kitchen table issues, man. Inflation has hit these people. That's the government's way of taking your income without asking for your permission. That's a way of raising taxes without you even knowing it. And so they're
9.1 today, right?
I'm sorry.
Where inflation has hit 9.1%.
Yeah, and that's even more. It's even higher than that. They want to bankrupt this country. So people are upset about the kitchen table issues. Price of food, price of gas. You know what I mean? They want better education for their children. And when we hit them with those messages, and they realize that my Democrat opponent voted 100% with those issues, this man hurt you. How is he representing you? It's going to flip very easily. Messaging is the way. And so anybody in campaigns without a message and without a clear message, and that they can bring out with passion and with fire, and that's going to ignite the hearts of the people, well, then I don't care how much money you spend, you're probably going to lose. But I can take a little bit, like I said, when I take the little bit of money I had and package in a message, I've just become unstoppable. And so with that 30-second ad that I released, I put my whole thumb in the devil's eye, and the whole nation and around the world, they've been rocked and shocked with just a little bit of truth. And so truth is the detergent. Truth is the changer. It's the game changer. And this is why the Democrats have silenced the church with the 501c3, and they've come out with their own ministry of lies, what they call the ministry of truth. This stuff should really wake up every Christian and say, man, the devil is real bold, but he's operating boldly through the Democrat Party. And so My message to the people is that I'm going to go there and represent you. I'm going to vote to lower the price of gas prices by reconnecting and re-energizing America's energy. I was in an interview the other day with a guy who was a white supremacist, and I exposed him for being a white supremacist. And he started yelling at me, and I started yelling at him, and I called him a white supremacist. And he started saying, I said, finish it. I said, finish it. Some of your best friends are black, right? I know, you're a white supremacist. Okay, but I'm letting them know, listen, I'm not going to sit back and let you yell at me in the name of love. I'm bringing the same heat. And I want the Republican Party to know that if you're going to win, you got to learn how to stand up for yourself and fight. And that's the type of stuff I'm going to bring to Washington. I'm not going to play no games.
That's good stuff, brother. I'm glad we got about 5 minutes left because I don't want to hold you up. I told your booker, your scheduler that we have you for an hour. Sometimes our show go longer than an hour.
An hour? That's an hour already, Jerome?
Yeah, hey man, hey, you know, time flies when you're having fun, man. You know. Yeah, so we got about 4 minutes left, man. So I tell you what, tell everyone that that you know is listening where they can donate to you. I got it going across the screen there. But tell everybody where they can find you, your social media, you know, and anything else that you want people to know about you, especially, you know, sending you some money to help make that dollar holler.
Listen, everybody, are you ready for a change? Are you ready for America first? Are you tired of these people sending money to other countries? Are you tired of them having to open the border and bringing people in here and taking care of them while you struggle to take care of your family? Well, then now is the time to get with a candidate like Jerome for Congress and support me. Go to my website and make a donation of $5 or $10 and tell other people about me. Tell them that a man of God, a man of the people is going to Congress for the people, and I'm going to make a change for you. I have an offensive plan. I'm not going to play defense. I have an offensive plan. I'm going in with the Internet Bill of Rights, and we're going to change the whole stage with that alone. But yes, we're going to close the border. Yes, we're going to fight for freedom, and we're going to fight for you, the people. We're going to bring back the golden ticket of America, and that's faith, family, and freedom. Go to Jerome for Congress. If you are in the Arizona area, go there and sign up. Get in the game. Get involved. Come on out. Knock on doors. Make phone calls for us. Tell people to vote for Jerome for Congress, and you will not be disappointed. I promise you, I will not let you down. JeromeForCongress.com. In Jesus' name.
And also, awesome. Your social media. Yeah, you're on every social media platform. I take
Yeah.
pretty much. I saw you on Twitter.
Instagram, Jerome 4, the number 4, Congress, and Twitter. You know, they just removed my video off of Twitter, and it has 6 million. I was like, so, and they gave me a copyright strike for the music, and the music is mine. You know, but see, and this is what. No, we're gonna stop it, brothers. I'm tired of complaining, brother. I'm tired of complaining. I'm ready for some action. And if you're ready for some action, people, get with an action man and let me go in there and do this stuff for me. I'll be your hands and give them a good pop in the mouth. I'll take these 13s and put them up the rear end of these people and make them get out here and do something for the American people.
So Carl Weathers has Action Jackson too.
That's right.
Action Jackson.
I need to do. That might be the next ad, brother. You giving me some ideas?
Yeah, that's good, man. I have an active lawsuit against Facebook against Section 230 as well. So I'm glad that you're going to definitely go there and fight for that. You know, because they have, you know, play these tricks, you know, with the Section 230. You know, they moved my lawsuit out jurisdiction out to California. You know, because that's where, you know, out there in San Francisco, because that's where they reside at. And that's where the liberal judge is at. So it's kind of crazy what they do. So I definitely hope that you and other people get into Congress and that would definitely take on these big tech. You know, because I didn't make it this time. Maybe in 2024, you know, I'll be there with you. You know, but hey man, but I you know, like I said, thank you for coming on the show. You know, I appreciate everything that you stand for. Appreciate everything that you do. You know, all of us in here do. And I don't know if Don, if you had any questions for him real quick. I know you came in late, got about a minute for him, you know, but you can go ahead and close it out, Don.
He's on mute.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Don.
Jerome, mute your mic.
So I came in late, didn't get to hear a lot of it. I'm going to go back and rewatch it, but I'm not going to hit you with any questions. But Jerome, what I've heard, I like, and best of luck to you. And we're in your corner.
Thank you. And here's what I want to say to everybody. I'm not desperate to win this. Okay? I'm not desperate to win it. I just want to see the American people represented. And so when the people see that you're desperate for something, they come approach you with these illegitimate prospects. I'm not desperate. If I don't win, at least I put everything on the field. I've run, I've knocked doors, I've done everything that I can possibly do. The rest is up to you, the people, and God. And that's it. And I'll be able to live with myself. I'll be able to support everybody else, but I'm not desperate. And I want to thank y'all for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're welcome back anytime. I tell you what, we'll have you back on after your primary, August 2nd, and then we'll have a little victory show for you. Bring you on and then send you off into the general in November. How about that?
Right on, brother.
All right, man. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming.
I really like Don Bro. You know, that's my real dude right there. Get everybody else.
Well, you know what? That's all right, man. You Raiders people, man. I don't know what.
There's some bubs, man. There's some bubs. Look, man.
He got on a $2 shirt.
Don't just don't mention the Raiders no more, man.
Look,
Oh,
look. What I always say is the Raiders could lose every game all season long, and they've come close. But whoever's playing them the last week is still going to say, "Oh hell, we got to play the Raiders." Because you might get beat on the field, you might get beat in the parking lot, or you might get beat both.
that's true.
Nah, that's not.
Right on, y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Take it easy, man. We'll see you, man. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. All right, take care now. All right, we're still live. He left, but we're still live. Anybody got anything else, man, that you want to put out? You know how we do. It's still an open show. You know, so what do y'all, since he's gone, what do y'all feel about the brother? We can talk about him now.
I like him. You know, he's kind of old school.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, he's like us, man. Hey, man, his campaign was like ours, man. You know, no nonsense. You know, no bullshit. You know, guy. You know, just straight up. Hey, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. You know, but this is what I want. You know, I'm gonna come out here and work my butt off for you. I'm gonna represent you. You know, as Americans, and we're gonna do America first, man. We're gonna take care of Americans first, and so. You know, you really can't ask for anything else other than that for a candidate that truly wants to take on America first, and really want to put American citizens before anyone else, before the world. Unfortunately, I think he's going to have a battle out there with the establishment dollar,
right.
With that money, because I coming off this election, I understand wholeheartedly, what that money could do. And the millions that they put into my race, because I raised about 500,000. It was nearly enough to be able to do the TV and counteract what the establishment did by rebranding Jen Kiggins and putting her out there like she's this saint and she's a Democrat basically. But that's what the money can do. The money it changes people's minds, and you can just control the airwaves. If you control the airwaves, that's how you control elections. And the establishment, the Uniparty, understands that. That's why the Democrats put so much money in for their candidates. That's why they put so much money in against me. I mean, one PAC put in $303,000. I didn't even know I was worth that much, right? But $303,000 to defeat me, and that was only one Democrat PAC.
It's not about the money, Jerome. Yeah,
it's definitely all about the money. It's all about the money, man.
And California has made that a rough area. Brendan Dilley ran out there. He had a good message. He had good support, and he lost his ass.
Yeah. He lives in Georgia now.
Yeah, he moved to Georgia.
I mean, but I like Jerome, man. I mean, his name is almost like mine, so I gotta like him. No, but I actually like what he stands for too. Everything the brother stands for is legit. So,
it's gonna be interesting. I'd like to see. I'd like to be a fly on the wall and hear some of those conversations among the establishment. Because I know that I don't think that in Arizona at that, and given the personalities in Arizona, and given the fact that he's old school from Mississippi, he's Southern, I'd like to hear some of those conversations going on with the establishment there, and he probably is the best candidate that they have that will win, but they've got a problem with him. I have
I mean, you
no
know
doubt.
what? I mean, but the establishment is not always about the best candidate.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
The
So
establishment
that's
has
the
a
thing.
problem with
Yeah.
Jerome.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just like they had a problem with me, just like they had a problem with you, just like they had a problem with Vernon Jones, just like they had a problem with all these other candidates, Alan West, Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, all a lot of people, that stand up, that's truly for America. They have problems with that because they know we're not going to play the game. They know we're not going to bow down to the lobbyists. We're not globalists. We're probably end up taking money out of their pocket. And that's all that they're about. So that's definitely going to be his biggest feat. Hopefully, like I say, hopefully the people listen. And the people come out and vote nationwide. I know he said 300 some thousand, but nationwide, these primaries have been very very low turnout. Just like here in Virginia, it was less than 15%. In my district, they came out and voted, but that's been nationwide. Even in Colorado, I heard Representative Boebert come out and say that only like 25% of people came out and voted in the primary or something like that. So, I mean, these people don't understand that these primaries are where we're losing our country. It's the primaries. People have to get out and vote in these primaries for the candidate that's gonna serve them the best. Because after the primary, like you said, after the primary, it's over. It's you're pretty much gonna get what you're gonna get, and right now you're gonna get a uniparty. You're gonna get a Democrat or a Republican that's going to be controlled by money and controlled by the globalists. I mean, you just look at my opponent, who got voted in. So it's kind of crazy, but
Yeah. I don't see many changes happening in Taiwan in either position. So yeah.
yeah. Mike said, they definitely agree with you. And then Mike said, yeah, I mean, they're going to use his ad against him at the right time. That's what money will do. Yeah, man, they're going to flip that ad. Hopefully, I mean, they're going to call this dude, a big racist. They're going to, it's going to be, like I said, I'm going to be paying attention to see how they're going to flip that, because I see, I mean, I just try to rebrand their candidate, because the establishment Republicans rebranded my opponent 3 times during our race, rebranded it 3 times, because I was just killing her on the messaging, and that's what they'll do. They'll steal your message, and they'll make it seem like that your opponent, it's their message because they have the money to put it out in commercials. They have the money to put it out in print ads. They have the money to put it out, and they'll steal your message and make it their candidate's message. And so people will actually think it's theirs. It's kind of funny how they do that.
It's kind of interesting, man. I was thinking about what he said in regard to he wants to make white people mad, right? So, I mean, what is it? That's an interesting concept. I don't understand because if you wouldn't get mad over slavery, white people wouldn't get mad over slavery. So in the revolution it was tea, so it's got to be something like that, right? So what could it be? That would get his people riled up out there. It would have to be a commodity, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because it's not slavery. Abortion is not, the LGBTQ that's been going on forever. People kind of let that slide on in. The last big war, that caused, was tea.
I didn't
So,
see, I
something
didn't, I didn't hear that comment
right.
because I was late, but I wonder if he's talking about the liberal apologist.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I was being facetious.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I
he was
missed
talking
it,
about
so
the
I didn't know.
liberals.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely talking about the liberals, those people.
I was being
ignorant
ignorant,
and stuff. So,
that's all. Yeah.
hey man, it's all good though. But I'm glad we had him on. And I'm glad they switched districts. Out there they did the redistricting, and I think the district that he's in now, like I said, is that Phoenix district. And I mean, I'm not sure the makeup out there, but I believe it's probably an R plus district. But like you said, he got some people out there that raised a whole lot more money. So now hopefully he can get his message out. And
I don't know about that being the best commercial ever, though. I mean, but he's supposed to feel like that, right?
I mean, it had like 6 million views. I guess
I
what he
guess
mean
so.
is,
Somebody
I
playing
think what he
it.
mean is it was the best commercial for the money that he spent.
Oh, is that
As
what
far,
he meant?
as far as the number of the views and maybe money, the donations that he had got in, he may have gotten more donations in than he spent, because it's not like people that spent $30,000 on a video, you know,
Right.
and don't even make that money back in donations, you know, or maybe don't even and only get maybe like 16, 17,000 views. You know, he spent, you know, however much money he spent. He said it took 10 minutes to make, you know, and he has over 6 million views. So, you know,
Yeah.
I believe that's probably what he meant with that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And that's a good ROI, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a damn good ROI, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's my mic for some reason. I know, probably. I don't know why my mic is feeding back tonight. It's tripping. I've switched mics and everything, so my bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can't hear anything now. I think everybody else is muted except for me. So, but and I don't have anything else to say, man.
All right, we're good. We'll wrap the show then, man.
Yeah.
We'll just call it an hour and wrap it. You know, we did this special show. And I think, you know, maybe these Wednesday night broadcasts will be good this hump day. So I think we're going to shift it to Wednesdays a little bit and see what's happening, you know, with that. But, hey, man, thank you for everyone that joined. Thank you for all your comments. Even, what's his name? Tommy Rainey. He didn't stick around for the show. I guess he didn't stick around for
I hope he comes back.
I mean, because I was gonna hit him on this one, I was gonna hit him on that, but no, he didn't. He didn't hang around for that. So
He a troll.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, you look kind of like. Well, I'm not gonna talk about people's looks.
Yeah, that's where I was going to, man.
You know what
he
you know what I'm
said he
saying,
couldn't
right?
listen to
You know what
I
it
know
looks
what you're
like.
saying. Yep.
Yeah.
he said he couldn't
So
listen to the Bible thumping garbage. So like whatever, man. It is what it is, right?
That might even be a painted on goatee.
is he wearing makeup?
It
I
looks
want,
like
I want,
He look like
I
he
want to
was
see her.
makeup.
I want to see her without the makeup.
He definitely got his. You know, he look like he got his little eyebrows done. You know what I mean? Got those fashionable glasses. You know, hey.
Yeah, his eyebrows looked almost as good as Levita's did.
Mm-hmm. Nah. But yeah, he you know, he's mhm.
All right, but anyway, all right, y'all. Well, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming out, and we're gonna piece it out. Thank y'all for everyone. Share the video, put it out, and support my man Jerome Davis for Congress out in Arizona. All right, later, y'all. Peace.
Peace out.
Oopsie.